Welcome to the Ethan Live podcast. I am your host, Papa Jeff, and co-host Debbie. Debbie, how you doing tonight?
Great. So
We
this is like a highlight to get started on these.
it
Love
is
doing
like
these.
we
It
we
is. We wait
well
all
let
year for the
let me
semifinalists to
introduce
come
who we
out.
have, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We have emerging hero and shelter hero dog semifinalist Raleigh Roo and Raleigh Roo's person Katie Woodley. Is that right?
Wadilla.
Wadella. Okay, all right. See, I got
And
that one.
here's Raleigh sleeping.
All right. So yeah,
Ah,
there's Raleigh. So we do so many podcasts that have a whole lot of uncomfortable and not fun, not happy things when we get into court cases. And so I
yeah.
love this time when we can sit down with people and talk about their dogs and all the cool things that their dogs are doing.
Yeah. Great stories to share. So we love
So many
doing it.
wonderful stories like this one. And Katie, what
Yeah.
part of the country are you in?
We are in Clearwater, Florida.
Oh, so it's nice and cool down there where you're at.
Oh yeah, only like 100 degrees.
We were talking
But
right off
other than
air.
that, it's all good.
We were talking just a second ago off air about all the pool parties that Raleigh Roo's been asked to come to, invited to. That's got to be a fun thing.
Oh, it's so much fun. We have a little group of a bunch of his friends, and there's not much to do when it's this hot out except for go swimming. So we all just meet at the pool every day.
I
Uh,
said Raleigh Roo has his own calendar of social events then.
He has more of a social life than I do.
Yes.
He has more friends than I do.
that's funny. That's funny. Well, let's jump into that. So, Katie, tell us a little bit about your life and your background and sort of what you were doing before Raleigh Roo came into your life and turned your life into just pool parties.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I actually always worked with animals. So I went to school. I got my associates in veterinary science, and I went on to get my bachelor's in zoology. So my whole life has always been about animals. I've been in the vet field. I've been a professional animal trainer, and those jobs have brought me all over the world. So it's been quite an adventure. I had dogs through that, but they kind of like stayed at home with my family while I was traveling the world. And then when I came back to America, my husband and we made it down here to Florida. And after losing my girls after some time, we weren't really planning on getting a pup, but things happen, and he's the best thing that ever happened to us.
That's very cool. What part of what was sort of the cool places around the world that you were doing work in?
We lived in Singapore for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
that was really
very,
cool. And while we were over there, because it's so easy and affordable to travel, we
uh,
traveled all over Southeast Asia.
oh,
So
wow.
it was really a really cool experience to be
Experience,
able
yeah.
to see the world. Um,
Uh, Before
yeah,
you came back and settled down in Florida, huh?
yeah. Well, then we weren't ready to come back. So then we moved
Oh,
to Australia for 2 years.
oh, you did. That is like my dream place. I've always wanted to go to Australia. Where were you in Australia?
We were in a small town called Coffs Harbour. It's about a 6-hour drive north of Sydney.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, a little tiny surf town. You really didn't go there unless you were retired or passing through.
I thought you were
Very
going to
nice.
say passing away.
We
Oh
we
no.
had we had a journalist on our
Oh,
podcast a while back who is he's a playwright, actor, journalist there in Australia. His name was Roland Roticcioli, and he was, I think, in sort of a suburb of Sydney, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Okay.
further south than what you guys were.
Yeah.
He still writes in a weekly magazine there. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a fun place to be. So when you were in, so this traveling like Singapore and Australia probably would have been much harder. Did you have any animals at that time?
No, so that's when I had two dogs, two
They were home.
girls. Yep, my parents kept them at
Hmm.
home for us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. A
So
little
you
hard
get
traveling to
so
those workplaces with dogs.
Yes.
so you decide to come back and you guys settle in the United States down in Florida. And how does Raleigh Roo get on your radar? How do you learn about him, and how does that happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I had lost both of my girls unexpectedly within
Oh,
months of each other. It was
Mm.
pretty devastating.
yeah.
Um, I was like not functioning at all. So I actually went to the local shelter to pet the dogs.
Oh, some
So
dog therapy.
yeah, some puppy love. So actually,
Uh-huh.
when my husband and I, before we were married, when we were in college, we used to visit the local shelter just to give the dogs some love, and for us,
Uh,
like I said, to get some puppy time. It's good for them and fun for us. So that was my intention, was to go in, get some puppy love, talk to the dogs, give them some time. And then
uh-huh.
I got to the last kennel and there was no sign on this little kennel. And I was talking to him. It ended up being Raleigh. And the volunteer that was there, she was like, "Oh, this is Sprite. He just came to us. He's very shy, but he's everybody's favorite because he's so sweet." And then he got up to walk over to his little cot. And she
Uh-huh.
was like, "Oh, yeah, he only has 3 legs." And one of my girls, we actually had recently gone through an amputation with her. So she ended up
Oh,
ending her life as a tripod. So when she
uh-huh.
was like, "Oh, he only has 3 legs," I was like, "My dog only has
Yeah,
3 legs."
3 legs. This is meant to be.
Yes. And she was like, "Do you want to meet him?" And I was like, "Yes, I want to meet him."
Oh,
So he
goodness.
actually, that was the first day he was back at the shelter after having his amputation. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so he didn't even have his name tag on the kennel yet. And I
yeah.
sent a photo of him to my husband, and my husband said, "Oh, he's cute. Is he ours?" And I said,
You said,
"Cha-ching!
oh,
Was this
Now he is."
was this photo taken in your car with him in
It was in the
already on the
meet and
way home.
greet room. Yep. And the lady even said, she was like, "If you want to take him home, we need to start the paperwork because we close in 15 minutes." And I said,
Oh, wow.
"Okay, well, my husband doesn't know I'm here." So she's like, "Okay, well, maybe talk to him and we'll come back tomorrow." And she's like, "We open at 1, and I'm pretty sure we were there at like 11:59
Oh,
Nice.
waiting."
goodness.
So we brought him home that day, and he has saved my life multiple times.
Oh. When did they share with you about what had happened with Raleigh?
So that's also a story in itself.
Oh,
The record from the shelter that we got him from.
uh-huh.
So she actually even said, she was like, "It just sounds really sketchy the way everything is worded." It says that he was actually transferred there from another shelter. Um,
Uh-huh.
for his amputation because he was adopted out of a previous one and then returned with broken
Mm.
legs as a puppy.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So we actually didn't
oh,
know that at the time. It just said that he was transferred there and jumped
okay.
off of a couch and broke his legs. And
Oh,
then a couple years later, I was actually looking to find a new job at one of the shelters. And I told my husband, I was like, "I feel like this is the one that he had originally come from for some reason."
uh-huh.
And my husband scrolled through 3 years of Instagram posts
Oh,
and
wow.
found his adoption photo from when he was
Oh,
a puppy and had 4 legs.
oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's when we
Oh,
learned that he was actually adopted out before we got him, and then he
uh,
was returned to the shelter with broken legs.
oh, wow.
So one of them they couldn't save, and then the other one we actually had to reconstruct because his growth plates had been ruined when he broke it as a young puppy.
Oh, wow.
What was
Yeah.
anybody
Mm-mm.
did you get the feeling that anyone believed the story that he jumped off the couch and both broke his back?
No, I personally don't think so. Even the shelter staff was like, it just sounds sketchy the way everything is
Yeah.
worded. And also, logically, you don't break two back legs jumping off of a couch.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So,
story's no,
yeah,
no.
we're not really sure what happened. He is a bit
Oh,
shy, especially with new people, but we don't blame him. He had a rough start.
yeah. Well,
But he
that's
is thriving now. I thought that his surgery would slow him down, but it literally made him faster.
oh,
He
okay.
it doesn't look like from the videos that nothing slows him down.
No,
No, it didn't
no.
look like it. How
Like
old
Yeah,
is he?
he's now 6.5.
Oh, well, no, okay. We've got a whole
Yep.
class of
and
6-year-olds.
he's a terrier mix.
Yeah, that's what his paperwork says.
Okay. Have you guys
Yeah.
ever done any kind of a DNA test or anything
We
on it?
haven't. We
No?
haven't. We
Okay.
kind of like the unknown. We like
Right.
being creative with what he might be.
Right. I understand.
We just know he's 100% perfection.
He's
There you
100%
go.
good boy. Well,
There,
let me
that's
ask you about
perfect, Katie.
where did his name come from?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a story too. So my husband
Good.
and I, we actually met in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I had moved
Oh,
down there to go to school, and we met there. And this is his first pet. So we wanted to make it extra special. So we named him Raleigh. And then the Roo part of it is because we lived in Australia and he hops around
Oh,
like a little kangaroo man.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
the name's perfect then.
Yes.
and so did you learn did you actually start working at that shelter that you found out that he had been adopted out from the beginning?
I didn't end up accepting the position, but it was also like it didn't really have anything to do with Raleigh's thing. But they did, like, I have nothing against them. They did their due diligence with him. They took care of him. They brought him back in when he was returned, and then they also were able to transfer him to the appropriate place to give him the care that he needed.
Yeah, that he needed.
Yeah.
No.
And so that was really did you find out anything else about his background, or that was really about as far as you could get?
That was about as far as we got. Like I said, it was 3 years into having him that we even learned that.
Right.
So it was kind of crazy, kind of shocking for us, but
Yeah.
it kind of all checks out when you look at it in the bigger picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And then talk to me a little bit more. I know you mentioned it a minute ago. The reconstruction they had to do on the leg that they were able to save. How difficult recovery was that?
Yeah, it was rough.
Mhm.
He had a procedure called a CCWO, which essentially how they explained it to us was that when a puppy injures their bone structure, it becomes an emergency surgery because they grow so quickly. So because he wasn't able to get the care he needed right away, his growth plates had been ruined. So they were growing the wrong way, essentially, for 3 years in that one leg that he still had. So we didn't really know. I saw, like, we used to call it his stanky leg. Like when he ran, it would like kind of go out to the side a little bit. And I went through the amputation with my last dog, but she was older. So I didn't know if it was just like an adaptation for him, like being so young. And so I was like, oh, like, that's fine. Like, he's got a stanky leg. He's only got one. But since his leg was growing the wrong way, it also ruined his hip. So that's actually how we found out, is that he actually slipped on the concrete chasing a cat.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah. So we had his hip checked out, and they found arthritis in it before he was even 3 years old. So that growth plate was ruined. So what they did was they went in and they cut a wedge out of his bone, and they realigned it so it was straight, and then bolted it back together.
And
Oh
this
my
was after
goodness.
you all had already adopted him. They went back in after.
Correct. It was actually
Right.
like 3 years. He was 3 years
Years
old
into
when
it.
we did it. Yeah.
Wow.
And
What kind of recuperation time did it take for Rue
it
to be
was
back?
several months. It was
Wow.
rough. I actually took
Yeah.
like several weeks off in the beginning because we weren't sure how it was going to be because he didn't have another leg to support.
Ford, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Wow.
was, I think, the first 8 weeks, he wasn't even allowed to touch his little toes to the ground. So,
Oh.
yeah, we had to carry him everywhere in and out of the house, even just like readjusting
Oh.
himself on the bed. And we had this little harness for him. We called him suitcase dog because it was just
Yeah,
like a
I was
harness.
going to say with a
Yeah, it just had
handle or something so you
handles.
could, yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so we would hold the handles and then we would hold his nub to help him go to the bathroom. And so he didn't touch
Oh,
his feet to the
goodness.
ground. Yeah, and that was about 2 months. And then the third month, he was able to touch his toes to the ground while we helped him. But
Um,
like I said, it was definitely rough.
tough,
I had a lot of back aches. I definitely got my workout in.
I'm
Um,
sure.
but he's also a very intelligent and a very emotional dog. And he was very grateful. Like he could tell that we were
Oh,
taking care of him. He wasn't the type of recovery dog that we had to like drug up to keep him calm. He would just go with the flow and be like, "This is what we're doing. You're taking care of
wow.
me." So that made it definitely a lot easier.
Yeah.
um,
Boy, he's lucky you all came into his life, that's for sure.
yeah, neither of us would be here without the other. So
Yeah.
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 He's
Well,
thriving now, though. Like I said, it literally made him faster. He tries to climb palm trees to get the squirrels.
I saw one of them where he was going after the
Yes, he will
squirrel.
try to climb them. I'm like, you can't even do that with 4 legs, bro.
But go ahead and give
he's
it your
gonna,
best
Yeah,
he's gonna
he
give it.
tries. He
He's
does
gonna
not give
give it a
up.
shot. What and share what you feel, but what you feel like you can. But you've said a couple times like that he saved you and that you wouldn't be here without him. And talk about your all's relationship.
Yeah, so when I actually got him, like I said, it was unexpected. It was a really just kind of like a rough time in my life. I had lost both my girls. My husband was actually going away for a little to do some training. So I felt like I didn't
You
really
all
have
alone.
much here.
Yeah.
And I was struggling with things at work. It was just kind of like a domino effect,
Oh, the perfect
something. Yeah,
storm, huh?
yeah.
Mhm.
And I just remember becoming a little self-destructive and sitting on the floor one night, and I looked up at him, and I just brought him home not too long ago, and he was just like looking at me, just like waiting, just
Mhm.
watching and waiting to see what we were doing next. And I was like, in that moment, I I was responsible for this little angel. Like I just
Mhm.
brought him into this home, and he's looking at me
You for
for
yeah.
life and love.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I had to listen to that in my heart. And yeah,
Oh,
that's all you really need to say
That's
about
good.
that.
Man.
well, it's very, that's nice of you to share because I'm sure that's hard to share.
Yeah, it was yeah. And like I
Oh,
said,
look.
if it weren't for him, I who knows what would have happened. But yeah, he's my little buddy. So I owe a lot
Yes.
to him.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
look at that
Yeah,
picture.
I mean, for to go through, the initial trauma of losing that leg, and then 3 years later to
Oh
have to
my
go through that
goodness.
surgery, that reconstruction, to watch these videos of he gets around. I mean,
Oh yeah.
honestly, he looks like he gets around better than a lot of dogs with 4 legs.
Or
Yeah.
I mean,
He
nothing
runs
slows him
faster than
down.
I do.
Yeah, he
He
is.
runs faster than I do, and he's also really strategic about his speed when he has his 3 legs only. Like if you watch him playing with his friends, he can keep up most of the time, but if he knows that he can't, he'll stop and he'll wait for them to circle around so he can
smart move.
Them comes by. Like he knows how to play the game.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Brains over brawn sometimes.
Yeah.
He works smarter, not harder.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's an active boy. He loves swimming. He loves running. Even we like to travel. I like to bring him out on adventures, and he's a great hiking buddy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for a 3-legged dog, he actually loves stairs.
Oh.
Yeah. So if we're like walking somewhere and there's a set of stairs, he's got to go up it, see what's at the top.
Oh, how cute is that?
Come back down. So hiking is always really fun because it's like a lot of stairs for him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he's a character, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I told you, he's got a lot of personality packed in.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, you can just look at him and tell he's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
He always looks very happy no matter what you're like. Tell us how your Do Like Raleigh Roo Foundation got started and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been a huge endeavor for us. I had actually lost my job, and I worked with animals, but I really was missing it. I was going through some health issues, and I wasn't physically able to return to the job that I was doing. So I wanted to be able to still make a difference for the animals with the physical abilities that I was able to do. So that's kind of where that started from. We spend our free time here in Florida going to fundraisers and dog events and shelter events. We like supporting all of our locals and meeting the animals in the